बन्धविमोचना भवभयभञ्जना बन्धविमोचना भवभयभञ्जना प्रणवस्वरूपा हे शिवानन्दना शिवनन्दना पाहि प्रभो पाहि गजानना लम्बोदरा जय गजानना गजानना
Loving Sairam, all of you. My reverential pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan, Shri Satya Sai. Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, loving Sairams to all of you. Sai Bhajan Lab, practice Sai Bhajans. Idea of creating this group was a long time dream to offer at Swami's divine lotus feet. We were thinking to have a group of 25 to 30 aspirants where we can practice Swami's bhajans. But in less than 9 days, around 1,200 people have joined this wonderful group, which shows their love towards Sai Bhajan and Swami. Surely Swami will guide us further. Learning bhajan is different than practicing bhajan, I personally believe. Learning to cook may give us the idea of cooking, but when we put that learning into practice, it will keep our learning enhanced and we can be a very good cook and offer our best Naivedyam to Swami. In volume 10 of Shri Satya Sai Speaks, Swami says, singing bhajans is the process of singing that originates in the heart, not from the lips or the tongue. It is the expression of the joyous thrill that wells up from the heart when the glory of the God is remembered. It is the spontaneous manifestation of inner ecstasy. In this bhajan lab, we will practice Sai Bhajans and also take guidance from the blessed souls who are into this. Let's give our best availability and work on putting Swami's teachings into practice, for which Swami will surely give us the ability. Today, we have with us Brother Ravi Kumar to inaugurate this initiative. He doesn't require a formal introduction as every Sai Bhajan lover knows him. Still, it becomes my responsibility to welcome our guest for the day, Brother Ravi Kumar. He joined Swami's Ooty school in the age of 7 and continued his education in Prashanti Nilayam and Brindavan campuses. Brother Ravi is an accomplished singer and he has been fortunate to sing in Bhagwan's divine presence since his school days for almost more than 25 years now. Brother Ravi, after completing his MBA from Shri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, joined Shri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, Prashanti Gram under Swami's directive, and currently serves as a senior manager of radiology and urology departments. We all call him as Ravi Anna, who has been a great inspiration and motivation to learn Sai Bhajans. If I had to be very precise, he is our reference guide for all the Sai Bhajans. We are fortunate to have you with us today. Over to you, Anna. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. My most loving pranams at the lovely lotus feet of our most beloved Swami. Dear sisters and brothers, it is my privilege that I'm here today, and I have been asked to share a few of my thoughts with all of you regarding Sai Bhajans. Thank you, Brother Kirti, for giving me this chance to talk to all of you. Sai Bhajans, it is such a magical world, is it not? So, as Brother Kirti was just saying, it is not possible to contain the enthusiasm of Sai devotees who want to participate in Sai Bhajans. Because we very firmly believe that among the many doors that Swami has laid out for all of us in order to go through and go closer and closer to Him, Sai Bhajans happens to probably occupy the place of the first door. That's what we like to say. Because there is something so magical and so attractive about Sai Bhajans. So the moment you hear bhajans, you want to go and sit, and then that is where the attraction process to Swami and his organization and seva and everything else, or even to further our cause, further our sadhana through bhajan singing, everything starts from that first door. That is this beautiful and wonderful gift of Swami, that is Sai Bhajans. So to know that these many hundreds of you have enrolled into this bhajan lab, as it is, which is a very scientific term for something that relates to the heart. But it is very true that, like so many other aspects in our life, this bhajan singing has both a science part to it, which means there is a methodology to it, and there is, of course, the heart part of it, which I'll come to later on, which has such a large part to play in our being a bhajan singer. So, taking this topic forward about practice Sai Bhajans. So, I want to start off this with maybe in this session about three basic questions that we need to ask ourselves when we say that we want to sing Sai Bhajans. See, it is not as if this is like a textbook and there are points which you have to study and there are questions to answer. No. Like I explained earlier, Sai Bhajans is something that attracts us from the heart. So how can we have rules saying that, this is why we are going to sing Sai Bhajans? There are no set rules for Sai Bhajans because it is a heart-to-heart connection with Swami. But having been involved in Sai Bhajans for a few years and having interacted with, Swami has blessed us, the Prashanti Bhajan group here, with many interactions. So maybe we'll try and put together some boundaries, some guidelines, which all of us together, if we follow, it'll become a very enriching experience for all of us. So I'll start off by asking 3 questions to all of us. And I'll base today's session around these 3 questions. The first question is, why Sai Bhajans? Okay. The second question is, for whom Sai Bhajans? And the third question we'll address today is, how Sai Bhajans? Right? These are the 3 questions. So I'll start off with why Sai Bhajans. Okay. So if I take it even earlier than mentioning Sai Bhajans, why bhajans? Why are we bhajan is where we sing our heart out to God. Yeah. So there is no restriction of this God or this religion or nothing of that sort. Where we pour our hearts out, our emotions to God through singing. Yeah, language no barrier also. So God's name and God's music. So music and God's name, each has got the potency, each has got that much power that it can take us closer to God, each of them individually, just God's name and music by itself. Just imagine the amount of potency it gains if we have name and music rolled into one. What a potent mix, such a powerful thing we have. For what? So that we move closer and closer to God. Yes, and you've often heard this saying that in Kali Yuga, Namasmarana is considered the path. Yeah, let's not qualify it with the best path, the sweetest path, the greatest path. It is the path to reach Swami. So Namasmarana. Talking about Namasmarana, Swami once said that, beautifully Swami puts together some Chinna Katha in order to make very complex thoughts easy for us to understand. He said Narada went to Lord Narayana once and said, uh, Narayana, what everyone says that your name is very powerful. How can you explain to me how it is very powerful? And Lord Narayana says that, Narada, I will not explain it to you. You will have an experience by which you will understand. Narada said, most surely, Lord Narayana. So he goes. So Lord Narada, he's a Loka Sanchari. So he goes around and he wants to get that experience of what is happening. So he sees a parrot first. And he asks the parrot, can you tell me, O parrot, what is the efficacy? What is the power of the word Narayana? And the parrot instantly drops dead. Narada is very perplexed. He continues his journey. Then he sees that a cow has just given birth to a calf. And a calf being such an innocent being, Narada goes to the calf and proceeds to ask the calf, saying that, oh, innocent little calf, what can you explain to me because of the innocence in your heart? Can you explain to me what is the power of this word Narayana? And the newborn calf instantly dies. Narada is quite at shock by now, but he thinks, let me continue my journey because I'm sure the Lord has some lesson for me. And he goes to a kingdom where the prince of that kingdom has just been born. And then he goes to the prince and he asked the same question. Oh, Prince, I have roamed around and I have met a parrot. I have met a calf. And the moment I asked them this question, they dropped dead. But I have to ask you this question. What is the power of the word Narayana? And the prince answers, the power of the word Narayana, it is so powerful that I am the same person who was the parrot. On hearing the name of the Lord, I instantly died and I was promoted to being born as a calf. The moment as I was born as a calf, you came and uttered the word Narayana to me. I died instantly and I have been promoted by God to be born as a human being. That is the power of the word Narayana. Now, it's such a powerful story that Swami tells us just to explain to us the concept that the word Narayana, that is Namasmarana, the it is not just Narayana. Narayana is an example. Any name of God that we take, that is the power it has. It has the power to promote us from being one being to a greater being. And being born as a human being is supposed to be the pinnacle of all the births that all the beings have. So that is the power of the word Narayana. So that is the power of God's name. So that just merely by hearing the name Narayana, higher states of being is achieved. And then Swami so beautifully says, okay, the power of the word is really, it's very powerful. But then when Swami was talking to us, he said this multiple times. But I remember this occasion when he was talking to us in the hostel, and he said the same example, and he took the example of Lord Rama. He said, as Tyagaraja found out, he can just say Rama, or he could have just said Rama, protect me. He could have said Rama, Nannu Kapadura, and the amount of devotion that Saint Tyagaraja had in his heart, Rama would have, rushed to help him. But then Swami says that if instead of saying Rama, Nannu Kapadura, suppose Tyagaraja sang Rama, Nannu Kapadura, Ramanannu Kapadura. So Swami sang this so sweetly, and we could literally see that when Swami was saying this, his face was beaming. And he said, so when you sing like this and pray to God, can God stay back? Lord Rama will rush to you and says, yes, Nenunnanu, I am there. మిమ్మల్ని కాపాడడానికి నేను ఐఎమ్ హియర్ టు ప్రొటెక్ట్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ లార్డ్ రామా విల్ రష్ టు యూ అండ్ వెన్ వి హియర్ అవర్ ఓన్ లార్డ్ సాయి రామా సేయింగ్ దట్ you pray like this to me and I will rush to your aid. So we don't need any other example of anyone else telling us how we have to pray to him. Not merely namasmarana, not merely music, a combination of both nama smarana with music. So we should remember that this is what Swami said, that he would love, Lord Sai Rama would love us seeing, praying to him in that way. And see, Sai Bhajans, when we come to Sai Bhajans, now we have put the name of the Lord and music together, and that is Bhajans. And I think we have done lots of bhajan workshops where we have said why we think that Sai Bhajans, why we feel very strongly, not we think, we feel very strongly that Sai Bhajans are the pinnacle of the Bhakti Sampradaya movement itself. We have had great saints who have been singing to God and who have merged with the Lord. But Sai Bhajans have got so many unique things about them. We can do multiple bhajan workshops and why we think Sai Bhajans is the pinnacle. It's just that, see, all of us have come together to learn Sai Bhajans. So we have accepted that that is something very close to us. See, Swami has said that Kirtana itself, there are four kinds: Leela, Guna, Bhava, and Nama. All these are a part of Sai Bhajans. Just quickly going through some points. And we have different genres of music. Somebody likes Western, somebody likes Carnatic, somebody likes Hindustani, somebody likes light music, somebody likes chord based, somebody likes something like a ghazal. All these genres of music are there in our Sai Bhajans, and different beats. There are different ragas. There are different emotions that are conveyed. All the entire gamut of emotions that you want to convey to Swami, you can convey it through bhajans. And there are multiple gods. Our Ishta Daivata, as Swami says, we can pray to. If Krishna is our deity, favorite deity, Rama is our favorite deity, Devi we pray to, anything. And we have Sarva Dharma. It just does not cater to one religion. Um, everything put together, and the melodious bhajans that we all hear every day, which doesn't need any reasoning. So all these things put together, Sai Bhajans, let us accept, is the pinnacle of the Bhakti Sampradaya movement. And like there was a Jayadeva, or there was a Guru Nanak who started this Sankirtana, or there was a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or there was a Mirabai, there was a Radha, all of them who sang to their respective gods. All of us have this opportunity in this Kali Yuga and in our Sai world. We have this opportunity, each of us, to become like one of those singer saints if we become at heart like them. What a great blessing it is that each of us have an opportunity to do this. So yes, so let us get together and think that that is our aim in learning bhajans, so that we sing how a Meera would have sung, how a Tyagaraja would have sung, how an Annamaya would have sung, how a Purandara Dasa would have sung to their lords. So we want to sing like them to our Lord. Okay, so talking about Sai Bhajans, just continuing to talk. Like I said, there are uh, everything is encompassed in the Sai Bhajans. I just thought let's hear a few examples, so that we can just start ruminating in our minds. Yes, Sai Bhajans has this and it has that. Otherwise, it's all only uh, theorizing so far. So, for example, a bhajan like this: Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Sai Narayana. So, what bracket of bhajans do you all think that it fits in? I can probably tell you for this example, this we can think it fits into Nama Sankirtana, right? It's all Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Hari Narayana, Narayana. So they're all, we are just continuously taking the name of the Lord. So this is Nama Sankirtana. So from now onwards, I'll give a few examples. So maybe you all can brainstorm among yourselves or individually, or if you want to, whatever the platform this Bhajan Lab, the organizers are put together, maybe you can all give your answers on that platform or however. So here is another bhajan. Rajiv Lochana Jaya Jaya Rama Raghukula Bhushan Jaya Raghurama Dasharatha Nandana Lavanya Rama Abhaya Pradayaka Ananda Rama Janaki Vallabha Sugunabhirama Jagadodhara Satya Sai Rama. Okay. Another one. Dhim dhim dhimi dhimi natana Shiva. Tandava keli vilasa Shiva. Leela manusha vesha Shiva. Lingodbhava kar Sai Shiva. Okay, I'm sure all of you are having hints, but let your minds race just as our heart incorporates the meaning of these bhajans in our hearts. Let the heart, tug away at the mind also and say, what is the kind of prayer I am putting through this bhajan? Here's one more. Om Jagajanani Sai Mata ओंकार रूपिणी साई माता ओम जग जननी साई माता अभय प्रदायिनी साई माता साई माता सत्य साई माता अनाथ रक्षकी साई माता अनाथ रक्षकी साई माता. Okay, this is one, just two, three more examples. Okay, this, what genre would this fit into? प्रणव स्वरूप हरि ओम साई नारायण हरि ओम सत्य साईश्वराय हरि ओम यादवाय माधवाय गोविंदाय नमः परमात्मा रूपाय हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम सत्य साईश्वराय हरि ओम. Yeah, one thing is, when we're thinking that there is no one answer to any of these bhajans or any of these questions, because it is really what touches our heart about these bhajans, and that is also the beauty about Sai Bhajans. We cannot bracket it under this, saying that when this bhajan is sung you have to feel like this. No, right? That defeats the whole purpose of bhajans being an individual connection between us and Swami. Okay, so another Rama Shri Ramachandra Jaya Jaya Rama Karunabhirama Kamaniya Rama Rama Shri Ramachandra Jaya Jaya Rama. Moving to another example. Jaya Krishna Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Hridaya Vihari Jaya Yamuna Tira Vihari Jaya Gopi Ke Hridaya Vihari Jaya Madhava Rasa Vihari Jaya Sai Pati Vihari. Okay, I'll end with one last example. Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Parashakti Palayama Shri Bhuvaneshwari Rajarajeshwari Anandarupini Palayama Sadanandarupini Palayama Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari. Okay, so those were some examples and some things for you to ponder about how this beautiful Sai Bhajans that we are all getting into to practice, to make it a sadhana, to make it a part of our lives. This is the beauty of Sai Bhajans. And yeah, aren't Sai Bhajans a treat to the ears? Just as music um, with Lord's name, aren't they a treat to the ears? But yeah, that is what Sai Bhajans is not merely. Yes, it is a treat to our ears. Yes, we feel very good. It is, but it is not merely a sensory pleasure for us to enjoy like any form of music. There is something much deeper in Sai Bhajans. That is what we will aim to make it in our lives. Okay. The second question that I want to ask all of us in this session is, for whom are we singing? And I'll I'll put forward probably three scenarios for whom. I am not going to give an answer for whom it is, but I'll just leave these three scenarios open to all of us so we can just think about each of these scenarios and how our being a part of Sai Bhajans, how Sai Bhajans being part of our lives um, is going to give us an answer. Okay. The first thing is we sing Sai Bhajans for Swami. Yeah, isn't that something that we think we are doing for Swami? Yeah, sometimes we think that Swami needs our bhajans. Yes, such probably foolhardy thoughts do come to all of us in our lives at some point in time or the other. Then I think we will learn later on that we are not singing merely for Swami, but that is a journey that each of us have to take. But yes, let us take this premise of yes, we are singing for Swami. Now, Swami loves bhajans, and as part of Swami loving bhajans and part of his being the master of time, we know that the moment the seconds hand in the clock goes to the time when the bhajans would start, whether it is 5 p.m., 5:15 p.m., whatever the time is, he would say, hey, start chandi, bhajan start chandi. You know, that is what Swami wanted bhajans to be. So this Swami for whom we are singing wanted bhajans to start on time. And then bhajans, whether he is giving an interview to devotees, and when he would hear that bhajans have started, when he would hear the Omkara, he would tell, ha, bhajan started, ha, pandi, 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 pondi. So like, let's all go, bhajans have started. So this is the Swami who loves Sai Bhajans. This is the Swami who ends his discourses with, with a bhajan. This is the Swami. So he has called the so-called Mira boys. It is a funny term in a way. It's an oxymoron because it's Mira and boys, but that is what these group of boys who used to sing Mira bhajans for Swami. And Swami had called them so many times, even into his residence, and make them sing. And these, at the same time, there were these brothers who were training in Carnatic singing, and Swami would call them in every day for such a long period of time and hear many of Tyagaraja Kritis and other Kritis. And Swami would take so much joy in listening to this. It is such a huge blessing for all these boys to go in and sing something that Swami loves, and get blessings from Swami saying that yes, I'm happy with you and giving blessings. What greater blessings can we have than when Swami says, I am happy with you. And I remember one of our brothers, his parents were a little worried about him, saying that feeling that he was not doing very well academically, but he used to participate in a lot of dramas, especially the Telugu dramas, and he would belt out these Telugu padyams and play some very good characters in the dramas. And so his parents, when they got an interview with Swami, they told Swami, we are very worried about him. He's not doing very well in his studies. We wonder after his studies what would happen to him. And Swami said this very beautiful thing. Your son has played characters in dramas in front of me, and he has given me a lot of happiness. Somebody who has given me this much joy, will I let go of him? Won't I take care of him? This is the assurance that Swami gave to the parents. And yes, the story as we know it is Swami till today is taking very good care of this brother who is working elsewhere. But this is the thing. This is the Swami who loves bhajans, loves music, loves the Mira bhajans, the Tyagaraja kritis. And if we are able to please that Swami, he is going to take care of us. Okay, so this is the first person to whom we are going to sing. Sing for Swami. The second question I want to ask you is sing for oneself. Yeah. What happens to us when we sing? We feel good about the music. We feel good about the Sai Bhajans. Like I said, sensory pleasure that we have. We like hearing ourselves maybe. We feel good about it. So does it stop there? If we are singing for ourselves, what must happen to us if we sing Sai Bhajans? No, there are people who come and ask us, say, we want more people to join for Sai Bhajans. How can we make that happen? Yeah, one thing is definitely by making the whole session a very melodious session. Yes, definitely that will attract people. Another very important component, which the thought of which I want to leave with you is if I have been attending bhajan sessions for a long time, people whom we want to call into the bhajan sessions, they should feel that by attending Sai Bhajans, something has happened to me, something good has happened to me, right? So if people are able to see something happening, I don't want to call it a transformation or a change or somebody becoming a good person. No, there should be something that is noticeable. It is an intangible that people can see that happens to us when we attend Sai Bhajans. So if we are able to, if that is able to emanate from us, we are not going to verbally tell people, I have attended Sai Bhajan, this is what happened to me. Yes, we can surely show people our enthusiasm, tell them our experience about this is what happened to us. More importantly, people should be able to see what change has occurred within us. So I leave this thought with you about, are we singing for ourselves? And the third question I want to leave you in this part of the session is singing for others. There are two components to it. Swami very clearly told us when he spoke to us in the hostel. He told us, he said, yeah, some boys sing like this, some boys sing like that. He made fun of us, how we have facial expressions. He said how we pronounce wrongly, how we stress on the wrong words. He said all this to us. And then one very important point he made is bhajan singing is not to impress your well-wishers or your fans. Swami was so categorical in that. Are we singing for others in that sense? So, like I said, there are two components. One is this: we are not singing to impress anyone else. Yeah, this brings us to the first question: are we singing for Swami? Are we singing for us? Third one: are we singing to impress others? Whereas the second component in this about singing for others is we have a responsibility when we are leading bhajans because the majority of devotees are following bhajans after hearing whoever is a lead singer. So it's a great responsibility when we say we're singing for others. It means that we are being a conduit for people to reach Swami, for people to show their emotion and their devotion to Swami through the singing. So that responsibility of singing for others to follow. So when they follow, they can follow even the emotion that is the bhava that is involved in that bhajan. They should be able to follow. So this is that component of singing for others. So in this session's second question, who are we singing for? Is it for Swami? Is it for ourselves? Is it for others? Okay, so then I'll move on to the sorry, excuse me. I'll move to the third component of the session, which is how to sing. My God, I'm sure many of you there have learned music. You all sing Sai Bhajans already. You're part of this beautiful sadhana and are very, very well educated musically. And so I'll just not go into the technicalities of singing per se, but some things that Swami would stress about how we are to sing. The very first thing is practice. So there is no second word. So anything regarding bhajans, anything regarding music that we as students would ask Swami, he will only ask one thing: practice chesara. Have you practiced? So even if it is much before a particular festival, suppose we are supposed to sing a music program, 1 week, 10 days before that, Swami would, whenever he would see some of the bhajan boys, he'll ask, practice Chestunara. Not just the music, about the drama sessions. Swami would come for the drama session. In the drama sessions, he would make us sing our songs. Even if it was recorded, eventually he would hear all of us live. For many, many years, we used to sing live. We would sit there, and as the drama would go, either we would sing live on stage or we would sit next to the stage and sing live. So Swami came for every practice session, would make us practice again and again and again. So there is this thing about 100 practices of a bhajan, right? So 100 practices of a bhajan is divided into, Swami had divided into 25 into 4. So first 25, you're actually learning the bhajan properly. Next 25 is when you're able to render, not perform the bhajan. When you're able to render the bhajan properly is the next 25. And then the third 25 is when you start visualizing, you internalize the meaning of the bhajan. So the technicalities of the bhajan is out of the way and you're able to sing it naturally. And you're able to visualize the meaning of the bhajan. You're able to visualize Swami. And fourth, of course, is experiencing him within, where, during bhajans, when for no reason, I'm just saying, for no reason, you smile. For no reason, you shed a tear. For no reason, all of a sudden you feel a connect within yourself. And that is experiencing. So Swami says, when you practice something 100 times, the last 25 times is what is going to give you the experience. So practice, practice, practice. So that is what he's going to do. And yeah, when we talk about practice, there was a time when Swami learned some bhajans from some of the students, and he would go back to the student from whom he learned the bhajan. He's the he's the composer. He's the one who has given the idea to the student to compose. He's the one who's given the student the ability to compose and to sing. And what does our sweet Lord do? He goes and learns the bhajans from him. Not only that, he practices the bhajan. He goes back to the composer and he asks, is this correct? Should this line be different? Is it okay? I'll practice and come back. This is our sweet Lord. If the Lord of the universe, who has given us virtually everything, practices like this, isn't it our duty to do so? And isn't Swami teaching us much more than just the fact of practice through this example? Not just practice, him going back and asking, am I doing it correctly? So isn't our sweet, humble Lord teaching us so much more than just singing the bhajan? Yeah, I think we can think so much about it. And we've been told by some of the really revered singing masters of our times who have come here, great performers who have come and told us what we can practice. And they've said, Jasraj ji, in fact, Pandit Jasraj ji has said, practice of Omkaram every day is what is going to make our voice resonate. And it is not uh, it is not a coincidence that our days to begin in the hostel, our days begin with 21 omkarams and then the suprabhatam. So no, practice of omkaram is something that is going to give steadiness to the voice and give a resonance to the voice. So that is Omkaram. And we have had other musical masters who said that if you can practice with Hari Om on a single note, yeah, I think this is something we have covered on in some workshops. But I thought I'll make a mention about this when we're talking about practice. Mm, Hari Om. So when we practice this, it gives us stability when we have to sing bhajans notes that are A with ha, re, o, and You know, we have. I'll just give you a few examples. Deen janavani varadayini. No, every line there is so much of e coming. So our grasp of the shruti and our grasp of the way we pronounce our e's, so that it comes out in a very strong and pleasing way, is practice of e in that hurry. You know, e comes from there. Govinda bolo, Gopal bolo, Ram naam bolo, Hari naam bolo. So you know where I'm coming to. Oh, and then भज रे राम चरण सततम भज रे राम चरण. So satatam Ram charan. So our ns and will become much more correct if we undertake this Hari Om practice. So that is one thing I need to tell you. And another point is about learning a bhajan properly. See, like I said, there is no single rule about how we are to sing bhajans, because we are, because we are connecting to Swami and we are sending our prayers to Swami. So, though there is no one method to do it, why there is a rule about a version of a bhajan is, I feel the only reason we stick to one version of a bhajan is so that if it is for the others, the majority of the population, the 99 point whatever 9% of the public which is going to follow the bhajans, all of a sudden, if they're used to one particular tune, if they hear something else, it disturbs them. And momentarily it takes their thoughts away from Swami, away from whatever emotion they were, whatever prayer they're sending out to Swami, suddenly, it jars. So that is one reason why uh, I feel that we need to have one particular version of a tune, of the words and of the tune. And so it is very important that we learn the correct version, whatever is the version. Uh, we have multiple sources. You would all know, the people who are going to teach you on a regular basis will teach you will tell you what those resources are. But it's good to learn it precisely also, because sometimes, especially when we are following bhajans, we tend to follow bhajans according to what is happening in our mind rather than what the lead singer is singing. So if we are planning to lead bhajans, we should know every bhajan precisely. Just one example I want to give you. This bhajan, जय 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 हे गजानना, गजानना हे गजवदना. Now it is so important that we learn where the last note ends. Gajavadana. We can't leave it, in the air, because before the line ends, anyway, the following people are going to take over the bhajan. Gaja, they're going to start. So I can just leave it. No, we have to learn that line precisely till the last note where it ends. So if we concentrate and learn it correctly, that is something which will do a lot of good to our bhajan singing. And there is no need to sing only complicated bhajans. We had so many instances of how, like I told you, that smile that all of a sudden comes on our faces during bhajans, or that one tear we shed, or that one place where we feel so strongly, oh Swami, you are there, I feel you so strongly. can be a very, very simple bhajan, a Namavali bhajan. And this happens so often during bhajan sessions. So even like I said, all the kinds of Sankirtana that Swami has said, so it doesn't have to be exclusively one. A Nama Sankirtana can become a Bhava Sankirtana for us. You know, that is how these two kind of bhajans can get linked. So as long as you're singing with focus on Swami, and as long as we are able to convey uh, the praying that is coming from our heart through a bhajan, so Nama bhajan can become a Bhava bhajan. So we need to basically choose a bhajan based on how well we can render it, based on our scale, how high or how low we can sing. So, and basically, when we are choosing bhajans, we have to remind ourselves that it is a sadhana. It is not a performance. It is a sadhana for us, and we are going to help multitudes in their sadhana. So that is what we have to remember, that this is Sankirtana. And I think the last point that I would want to leave you all with is, in as part of this, how we sing bhajan is that we have to concentrate on the meaning of the bhajans. We have to focus on Swami, and through various we have examples and we have had episodes and incidents in our life where we have allowed our mind and body to stray away from focusing on Swami, and how Swami has directly said, and we have been blessed that Swami has directly brought our focus back on him. That is the whole idea of Sai Bhajans, right? Is that we concentrate on him, we focus on him. That is a prayer session, that we want to pray to Swami, we want to think about Swami, we want to make those minutes blessed minutes in our lives. So with our singing, we want to focus on him and sing in a way that he gets pleased. We want to please Swami. I remember when the boys, they wanted Swami to come to the hostel, and Swami was not consenting for a long time. So the boys gathered in the veranda, and when Swami came out, they all Swami, gave us the liberty to sometimes go and surround him, and then boys are all saying, Swami, please, Swami, Swami, please, Swami, Swami, please. After sometimes, come to hostel, please, Swami. That come to hostel is only the first sentence. After that, the refrain lines are all, please, Swami, please, Swami, please, Swami. And then Swami says, Swami will say, Shanti, Shanti. Then when everybody keeps quiet, then Swami said, please, Swami. Then he walked away. So it is such a beautiful lesson, right? If you please Swami, then he will do our bidding. We want him to come to the hostel. Even if we are not praying as hard, Swami will come to the hostel because he is pleased with us. What we want Swami to help us with in our lives, we have to please Swami. So that is one story I wanted to leave you with. Um, so bhava is the most important component, which I said, our Sai Bhajans is not merely a sensory pleasure that we have to have, nothing that feels good to hear Sai Bhajans. No, something much deeper. That much deeper is beyond the raga and tala, is the bhava aspect of it. We have to hold on to our prayer. So this does not mean that if you have only bhava, we can go ahead and lead bhajans. That's why most of us have the opportunity to follow bhajans, because among the three components of raga, tala, and bhava, suppose we are blessed only with the bhava component, we can follow bhajans with all our heart and all our throat, and that will lead, that will surely reach Swami. As Swami once told one of the elders who wanted to lead bhajan singing, and then Swami has obviously he's heard when he was following bhajans, he's heard how he sings. Then he said, Bangaru, ni puja room lu padu, nen vintanu. Bangaru, you sing in your puja room, I will listen to you. So, Swami is very categorical about bhava being the most important component of bhajan singing, but not without raga and tala. So, those of us who can sing Sai Bhajans, who want to learn, who want to hold on to this sadhana in order to lead Sai Bhajan so that it leads to transformation of us. So this sentence is what I'm going to leave all of us with to think and ruminate about. The sentence is more important than what we do to a bhajan is what the bhajan does to us. So I thank all of you for this opportunity to share some of my thoughts with all of you regarding Sai Bhajans. And I think this is a wonderful initiative taken up by Brother Kirti and others who are associated with him. And I pray that Swami is with all of us through this initiative so that we internalize bhajans, so that all of us move from the first 25% to the last 25% so that we can make 100% offering to Swami. Thank you, Sairam.
Loving Saramana, thank you so much. We can continuously hear for you hours actually. But we don't want to taste all the nectar in one day, maybe. So I pray Swami to provide you for all our future sessions on behalf of all our participants today. So before concluding, let's have a small summary of this wonderful session. Ravina asked actually three main questions. So for the first one is why bhajans? And he mentioned that in Kali Yuga, Namasmarana is the only path to reach Swami. And he beautifully explained what is the power of Namasmarana with beautiful examples. And next, why Sai Bhajans? So many unique things about Sai Bhajans. He explained about different types of Sankirtanas and different types of genres it fits into. And the second question he asked, whom are we singing for? So we all have to ponder on. Always to have time management. And if you please Swami, that's enough. That's everything. And also he beautifully explained about what are our responsibilities as a bhajan singer. And third question, how you have to sing. So why practice is very important and how Swami used to encourage the same. And how to practice using Hari Om technique. It's a wonderful technique really. We have to all practice on a daily basis. And how to pick a bhajan, reference properly and deliver it properly. If you don't get a proper reference, we cannot deliver it also. And how to remember a bhajan as a sadhana and not as a performance. That's also a wonderful thing actually to remember. And one of the beautiful things Yuvaji mentioned is, instead of asking, please Swami, give me this, give me that, let's all please Swami by practicing Swami's teachings. Before we end, actually, there were few questions I would like to ask. Just two of those. The one thing is, we always hear from different bhajan coordinators, like the people gets annoyed when we ask them to join for practice sessions, as they say, we have been singing since so many years for Swami, and why should we practice? And I just wanted to ask Ravianna, how relevant is the experience mattering here over the availability and practice? Saravana.
Yeah, Saram, Brother Kirti. See, longevity in anything regarding Swami is no assurance that we are ahead of everybody else. Not directly related to bhajan singing, Swami in his discourse publicly said that there are people who claim that they have been in Prashantinilayam or they have been Swami's devotees for 30 years and 40 years. But are you following even one thing that Swami has said? That alone will qualify you to be a devotee. So the number of years that we have been doing anything does not matter. So even here as a music group, even when I was a little a schoolboy, I had so many of my senior brothers. And what I have absorbed from them and what I'm seeing down the line, today, a few decades later, is that the whole group becomes one cohesive unit only when everybody involved in the group comes together for that cause. That cause is to please Swami. And Swami will be pleased only when there is unity in the group. there are no two ways about it. And unity in the group is only when everybody comes together. Even if the senior most person feels that he doesn't have to practice in that session, even if he feels, which I'm not saying is right, everyone has to practice in that session. If maybe somebody has to practice a couple of times more, but what the seniors who have been singing for a long time can offer in that session is that a little bit of advice. In the practice session, the seniors can always guide the juniors. And one part of guidance is by being. The greatest part of teaching is if we are able to show that we are doing it, and then others will follow, not merely by words. So I think I feel whoever is a part of the bhajan group, however senior they might be, and this is from the experience that I have seen around in Prashanti Bhajan group, whoever you may be, you are part of a practice session.
Yes, thank you. And the second one, actually, all of us actually are really busy in our own work, studies, etc. And many a times, actually, many of us will feel that we'll not be able to find time for practice session or bhajans. And when we see you, actually, you being a very senior manager of Swami's hospital, and I know you will be totally busy. In spite of that, you join all Swami's programs, recording, special programs, etc. And how do you manage all this?
Firstly, it is a blessing. Uh, it is a blessing to be part of this magical world of Sai Bhajans that Swami has given all of us. So that's what I would consider it to be. So we are not doing uh, anybody a favor by being able to participate in this. There are times in each of our lives when there are personal obligations which Swami himself had said that we can't let go of our primary responsibility in order to be somewhere because we want to sing a bhajan for Swami. No, apart from that, every minute that we are able to give, like you beautifully use the word availability, make ourselves available for that. And when the opportunity comes, we grab it. So people say, I'm very busy. How do I practice every day? There is we are see the I know it's a long example, but Swami asked Pandit Shivkumar Sharma, no, that as professionals, how many hours you practice? And he said, these many hours, and my boys don't get time to practice. And Swami said that is because they are, they sing for Swami. They're good at heart and they sing for Swami. That's why they're able to sing. So apart from offering everything to Swami, Swami, we know every moment that we had extra in our tight schedule, he wanted us to practice. He would not say just because you're waking up, 5 o'clock in the morning for Suprabhatam till your studies and night prayer at 10 o'clock. No. Even after that, if we got half an hour, if we had to practice, we would stay over and then practice. So if we really want to do something, I think we would be able to get that much time. And it is not necessary to give hours like professionals, like professional musicians. I tell people that even if you want to keep your throat in order, morning when you're getting ready to go to office, you can sing loudly, sing aloud. So you're no, I don't get time even to sing loudly. No, you can do it when you're getting ready in the morning. Sing loudly, and all our Sai Bhajans ask us for 15 minutes of practice. Can't we do that just to keep our voice in order, just to give have control over the voice, just that much time.
Yes, definitely, Anna. Yes, yes. And last but not the least, what is the final take-home message for all the bhajan aspirants and bhajan singing aspirants from your side?
The last sentence that I mentioned, I think that is the most important take from Sai Bhajans, because Sai Bhajans is another sadhana. Sai Bhajans is something that we do in our lives so that we feel close to Swami, to eventually being one with Swami. Like I said, we all have the opportunity to be an Annamaya. If an Annamaya at the end of his life merged with the Lord, and the story is so beautiful that when Annamaya asks his Lord Venkateshwara that, Lord, I want to merge in you. And Lord Venkateshwara says, but Annamaya, who will sing for me? That is a beautiful relationship between them. But an Annamaya eventually merged in the Lord. Otherwise, he was always in thoughts about the Lord through his music for the Lord. So all of us are trying to be this Annamaya, right? So for that, we need to undergo transformation. What the bhajan does to us, this beautiful episode when Swami asked a group of youth, what are you doing? They said, Swami, we are doing this seva, we are doing that, we are doing this sadhana. Then Swami said, all that is fine. Milo emaina marpu chinda. Has any change come upon you by doing all this? So I think that is a question we need to ask ourselves. Yes, we want to offer this to please Swami, and Swami will be most pleased if this leads to our transformation.
Yes, Anna, thank you so much. And I thank Swami for this wonderful opportunity to start this initiative. Without his will, nothing will happen. We all know that. Maybe this is also for some very purpose of him actually. And I thank bottom of my heart to Ravi Anna for accepting this invitation to address all of us. Maybe in the future also we require your guidance. So please, I request you to join whenever it is possible for you to join. And I thank all the participants for joining this wonderful initiative and the group. And with all of your support and Swami's blessing, let's continue this initiative. So let's end today's session with Swami's Mahamangalarati. Jai Saram.